Live? Are we all dabbing?
Oh yeah.
I'm dabbing. I don't know if we're live yet.
Yes, we are live. Hello and welcome, everybody. Let's all
Stop
dab.
No, stop dabbing now.
I'll have you know I dab throughout all these podcasts.
Oh,
from
yeah?
start to end.
one permanent
Just
dab.
constantly
One
dabbing.
dab.
That's the
Yep.
clicking sound you sometimes hear. That's actually just Laura's.
That's my joints breaking into the power of the dab.
Hello and welcome to NoCB, a grand strategy and dabbing podcast. I'm your host, Leanna, and I'm here with our wonderful panel, including Rose,
Hello.
including Lambert,
Hello there.
and including Father the Dab King, Loris.
Sup? How's it going?
And thank you to
Cheap
Dogberry for
horses
the
and dabbing, the
subscription.
three things that Wales is known for.
Yeah. Yeah. We have got quite a lot of very, very serious grand strategy news to talk about this week.
The most serious of all.
Just the most seriousest news of all time. But I think we'll start out with something a little less serious, which is a dev diary about Canoes from Europa Universalis 4. Canoes that, as someone on Reddit pointed out, apparently have one cannon on them, which is pretty impressive to get like a whole cannon on a canoe.
I saw that Reddit post. It made me chuckle. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Cultural Chimera, also thank you for the sub. Rose, also thank you for the sub to your own podcast.
And Dogberry as well.
Yeah. I thank Dogberry up at the top. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Looks like we got a hype train going.
Level 1, almost to next level.
All good stuff.
Still no idea what any of this means.
Yeah, no, this is a good change. I've been annoyed for quite a while that like the non Eurasian cultures basically have no boats and then they go like straight to like frigates or something. When like the Polynesians were ahead of the rest of the world in maritime technology in a lot of ways for a very long time. So
Especially navigation.
yeah. Right. So you get war canoes. It's a transport that you can't really fight other like bigger boats, but it'll at least let you, if you want to make your Tuitanga empire, you can actually get your men to the other islands. So
I think it's telling that these boats are of the transport class of ship. It would be, I think, probably wise if that is the only type of ship they were able to make.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the case, actually, isn't it?
yeah, that
Also,
makes
can I just
sense.
point out, if that war canoe, which is just still a fucking funny name, if that war canoe is hull size 4, what does that say about the lower hull sizes 1, 2, and 3? I would like you to describe to me what a hull size 1
A
ship
whole
would be.
size 1 is straight out the Titanic. Only Rose can fit
Yeah.
on it.
That is exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
was
door.
honestly going to say the same thing. The door.
Great minds.
No, because that's the size of a canoe. A door is about the size of a canoe, so it has to be. It's
Well, no,
just
because-
shoes. It's a pair of shoes.
If Rose had a canoe in Titanic, then Jack would still be alive because she could have fit him in a canoe.
Though,
you know.
interesting, I think it was Mythbusters. They did show that due to like the buoyancy, 2 people could not fit on the door.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Depends on
Okay.
how fat Jack was, really, let's be honest.
Agavane is saying that a size 1 could be a barrel, like in The Hobbit. You know where
That
they all
doesn't
go
exist.
go
No.
down the river.
No.
The book, the book, The Hobbit, Lambert.
Which didn't have the canoe escape.
Oh, it's a Moses basket. That's a size 1. Just big enough for a
there we
baby.
go.
How did they escape from the Elf King's Hall in the book if it wasn't barrels? I thought that was in the book.
Oh yeah, it was.
in
They
the
did
book.
escape in
Yeah.
barrels, but they didn't
Yeah.
go down this big fucking chase scene where they're jumping out of barrels and over bridges,
Well, yeah.
and then he pulls
And
his
being
arms
shot
out the
at
sides of the
and-
barrel and uses it as
Yeah.
some kind of fucking tank with axes coming out of it.
And
No.
it all looks absolutely silly and stupid because they shot it
Yeah.
at 60 frames per second.
And I don't think
terrible
that's why it
CGI.
looked silly. I think it looked silly because it was silly.
Yeah.
But
I do wonder,
CGI.
like, if I had grown up watching alt movies only in 60 FPS, if it wouldn't look as stupid as it does. But man, I hate
I
anything
think that's a
shot in 60
problem.
FPS. I don't know. No.
Hand in your gamer card.
Well, I mean,
I
for
just-
for movies. I mean, for movies.
I mean, what is a movie if not a cutscene persevering?
Yeah.
I
Lambert has a point here.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself for that.
That's-
feel,
You
I
know-
feel like I'm
you know
only
what?
against it because The Hobbit used it. I don't think I know any other movie that used it, but I know I hate The
Yeah,
Hobbit.
exactly.
So I hate that
it
by
was terrible
extension.
in The Hobbit. Like anytime they were walking, it looked like their feet were going do 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 like a freaking cartoon. Like
Yeah, because they're really short.
I don't know.
That's how short people walk.
I don't think that short people walk differently from the rest of us. Let's look at some unit renders.
Oh no.
This is honestly one of my favorite parts of this update. I love getting new unit models. I love just seeing different looking armies on different parts of the map.
And
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact
the
that they're
models
being
are really nice.
included with the actual DLC. it
Right.
seems.
I do. Oh, by the way, they are now labeling this as Paradox Tinto and not as Paradox Development Studio. If you see the little thing in the corner. As someone in the comments pointed out, I am a little disappointed that they didn't do a full set of unit models for the Aboriginals and the Polynesians. Like with some of the Mesoamericans, they did like what if units for all 4 tech levels. That would have been pretty cool,
Yeah.
especially because like Hawaii had a fairly modernized army before they were colonized. That was within the time period of EU4. The Maori had, muskets by the time they were colonized. So, yeah, that would have been cool. But
I very much like the Brunei unit set. That's my favorite.
the Brunei ones look really cool, for sure. Yeah.
Like, the progression of the Brunei units goes, I really like massive belts. And then he thinks, you know what, maybe we'll cut down a little bit. And then he goes, you know what?
More hat.
We don't need belt buckles. Belt buckles are bad. So he goes to not having a belt buckle. And then he feels remorse and he brings the belt buckle back. There's a redemption arc going on there.
There was another one like that. Let me see, which one is it? It's
I love how you're like overthinking this and adding a story to the uniforms.
Yeah,
it's really cute.
it's Ayad Haya, the top middle. Yeah, they're like, okay, we need a hat that keeps the sun out of our eyes. Okay, we need a hat that keeps the sun out of our eyes. You know what? Screw that. Let's let the sun get in our eyes. Okay, that was a bad idea. Let's keep the sun in our eyes.
I like how Champers seems to like downgrade. Like, so he's got like a fairly well armored hat, and then he just said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna get rid of my leather cap, whatever protection it gives. I'm gonna replace it with just a headband," and then just he ends up just wearing a farmer's straw hat. Like, what's going on there?
I mean, that's the early modern period for you. It's like guns just got so advanced that they're like, it's armor. Screw it. We're just now in the 21st century, kind of getting back around to the idea that maybe armor is good. Yeah.
Well, did you see the one
I
from
don't-
Adam Savage where he made a titanium Iron Man suit and it was literally bulletproof?
Yes, I did see that.
So cool.
Okay.
That was cool as hell.
Agamade is asking if we could open the pictures. I don't know that would work, considering the forums are currently down.
I think
It
it
does.
can.
I've tried.
Should I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
you can open
actually,
them.
these low res images are actually high res. So
Yeah.
You can just click them. It's like a.
Oh, the pop up. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. You can tell I
Yeah.
don't spend a lot of time doing
Yeah,
that.
just click them and you can cycle through them as well.
Yeah, the Australian and the Polynesian need more unit models.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to
I'm
see-
imagining that for the Australian one as well, we're going to see a similar progression where he's going with less and less war paint, and then the final form is just, you know what? Let's put it all back on. War paint's cool.
Or at least give them like a level 2 unit model, like with a gun for like
Yeah.
even if the clothing doesn't change very much, like a lot of the Native American unit packs, they have like at least a Tech 2 model that it's like the guy with the half shaved head with the rifle. Something like that would be cool. Yeah. But I'm always glad to see more unit types on the map. I'm hoping that they'll kind of spread these around a little bit too to the other nations in the area that don't have their own unit pack. My dream is one day that nobody will use the generic unit pack, which we're probably getting
what the generic one is at this point.
Well, there were a few generic ones when the game came out. There was Western European, Eastern European, Middle Eastern, East African, East Asian, North American. I don't even know if Mesoamerica had a different unit pack at launch. I can't remember, to be honest. Yeah, and then I think there was one that was just like kind of a generic native unit, which is like the one if you like attacked natives in a territory, it would pop up with that little guy. But yeah.
There's more of this dev diary than just units, right? Or no?
It was the units and the war canoes
Right.
were the two things they showed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might get more at PDXCon remixed.
Maybe, yeah. So I think, this Leviathan and Nemesis will be out. Will they both be out by the time we record next week? Not quite. I think the Nemesis is the 15th. And when was the release date for Leviathan? I keep forgetting.
Nemesis is out next Thursday.
Right.
The
27th.
It's right here at the top of
Yeah.
the diary.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one you
Right.
refreshed and lost?
Yes.
Because
Nice.
Paradox, why? Why do you schedule maintenance during
please
our
don't-
podcast?
Can you do forum maintenance any time in the week besides right when we have the podcast? Just any other time. Any other
The
time.
new
is fine.
achievements are also online for people to look at.
Oh, for E4?
Yeah. I don't have any achievements in EU4, so these really don't bother me whatsoever, but there's some new ones there if you want to have a look at them too.
Did you put them in the war room chat?
Whoa.
Oh, there we go.
Rosebud, stop banging things on the desk. I don't think everyone wants to listen to a percussion podcast.
Oh my goodness. It's got Spice Girls and oops, I did it again. My goodness.
Oops, I did it again.
Let's see.
That's no mon. Quiz, pro quo. The power of 3. New Delhi. Keep the flame burning. To the bone. Spice Girls. Wonderful. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Clearly, Oops, I Did It Again is the best one here.
Of course.
Yeah, you gotta get that achievement so you can put it on your Steam profile.
Extend a regency
mean,
until your heir is
no.
50 years old. How do you even do that? I don't even remember the Regency Dev Diary well enough to remember how you would even do that.
Spice Girls. Having a female ruler have active trading bonuses for cloves, spices, salt, and sugar.
Is this what Paradox Tinto is going to be now? Is it just going to be 90s pop music references?
I mean,
I'm okay with it.
Now that
There's
Johan
music
has
out
no one to
there.
call him no.
Hold on. Presumably, this means that Paradox has bought the rights to that picture of Britney Spears, right?
I honestly, having a look at these achievements in the in Steam and then versus this image, I feel like that's somebody pulling our legs, taking the piss.
Yeah,
It's not
this
in there.
almost seems like a prank. Like,
Yeah.
did this come out on April 1st?
No,
Like
yesterday it came out.
Okay.
Was it on Steam? It's on Steam. now.
I found this image on Reddit.
Like, some of these seem real, but yeah.
Well, no, if you look at
A lot of them are real.
No, okay, so here's
Yeah,
the
no.
image.
No, we're not. Like the Britney Spears one isn't there.
The Britney,
Yeah, that one.
you can totally,
Okay.
see. I have the Steam up right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So they
Also,
yeah, okay.
it's kind of charged, that Britney Spears one, because it's definitely referencing the fact that her dad is like keeping her in prison.
Oh no. Oh.
So yeah, that's definitely fake.
I didn't realize
Yeah, that one
was
isn't
the
even on.
connection.
It's not even on there,
Oh no,
guys.
Oh no.
Yeah, no,
Flames
that
to the bone.
we got done there. We did get done.
We got. I
But
mean,
the rest of them are real.
well, here's the thing. Most achievements at this point are shit posts. So I would have almost believed that
Yeah.
it would have included.
Honestly, if it didn't have a literal picture of her and it was like a drawn picture of her, I would have believed it in a second.
Yeah. Well,
And yes, the
Yeah.
caption bot broke. I might be able to get fixed, but have not.
Yeah. Caption
Well,
bot has not been in the best of health.
I, for one, am very disappointed I can't fill my Steam profile filled with pictures of Britney Spears.
I mean, you could just change your avatar to Britney Spears and.
Oh, I've
Probably
tried
something
that.
like
You know,
Dance
it's
Dance
not enough
Revolution,
Britney. Not enough Britney.
You're gonna have to make your own game and create a bunch of achievements that are all just Britney Spears related,
Like
and
a
then
Britney Spears MMO.
feature
You might
them
have
on
to
your
talk
profile.
to her dad about getting the rights to that, but like, you know.
World of Britney.
Oh
Well,
well,
you know what? Oops, you did it again. Oops, you got locked in the office again.
look,
The
this is
opposite of lockdown. Or
this
what's
is
intended.
honestly the best thing that came out from any game developer on April 1st. I thought this was very, very well done. Yeah, here's a totally serious dev diary, showing some new metrics for Hearts of Iron 4. Showing Malta is the most popular nation.
Malta is the
Look,
new
I mean,
especially
Tanatuva.
The line for "I don't know, I can't see." Yeah.
France or UK. UK or France.
Yep.
I
Get
want
it,
to see the
guys.
line for Germany going down, though.
Yeah, you know. Try out some different countries.
I love
like-
how how high was that? Italy no? It's the other guys. I don't know.
The other
It's very
guys,
hard
yeah.
to read this graph, except for Malta. That's easy to read.
Yeah, I mean I think that was
that's all you
completely
need, really, isn't it?
intentional. Yeah, I mean Malta's always been my favorite country to play, so you know, I don't know why you would even bother.
I mean,
honestly.
did anyone play Age of Empires 3? Don't you start the campaign as being people from Malta?
Yeah, you do play as the Knights of Malta.
Wait,
yeah.
people played that game?
Yes. Yes. I think I had at least like 2 cities that were over level 50.
Oh
Level
wow,
80 something.
nice.
Why?
I played a lot of multiplayer with that.
No,
I think I put it down after like an hour. It was not for me.
I really liked the choo-choo trains you could build.
Oh wait,
Oh,
I tell
yeah.
a lie. Apparently, I
That's it.
played it for 2.1 hours.
See, if you were playing like the single player, like just doing single player random maps, it wasn't so fun. The most fun I had was doing the campaign with the story, because the story was really good. And then the multiplayer.
Yeah, it was like this kind of like Da Vinci Code, like EU4 era conspiracy theory thing. Yeah, that was a
actually
really
does
interesting campaign.
Tempt me a bit. That does
Yeah.
sound pretty cool.
Like you're trying to chase artifacts across the world or something like that. Yeah, it's like
It was like a
Lambert.
shit stacks. That's what I remember
Yeah.
about it.
it's
Well,
like
everyone
it's,
likes when
it's
you
like,
can play a game about chasing artifacts, but when they're already in the British Museum, everyone fucking hates them for it. This is outrageous.
No, Lambert. The campaign for Age of Empires 3 is like Assassin's Creed without the future stuff. You'd
Sold.
love it.
Download.
See, I know how to sell stuff to Lambert. I just have to make it part of whatever grievance he has made part of his personal brand.
You're not wrong. See, this in a movie, it's like Star Wars, but with none of the Last Jedi in it. Yay, I'm sold.
It's easy. It's easy.
It is. I am very transparently readable.
But yeah, so this is they're adding a new focus tree for Malta that's very serious, and it's definitely going to be in the next patch for real, for sure. I like the if you scroll down a little bit, the image
Yeah.
is pretty funny. I guess I have a slight delay because I accidentally refreshed my browser, so I don't have the demo.
Well, apologies. I just ran the Rosebud downstairs to hang out with my sister.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he was trying to climb up on the computer and pull the monitors down. So...
Oh, no.
yeah, no, that'll do it.
So yeah, the you can build you can finally play tall in Hearts of Iron 4. There's a focus tree that lets you add levels to Malta. I love give the janitor a rifle and a jetpack. Focuses. The fact that the next little icon under that you can't see what it's called just shows the tower tipping over. I thought that was pretty good. So yeah, you're adding everything to the East Wing clearly, and nothing to the West Wing. So you're kind of unbalancing yourself here. Yeah.
You know what? There is, because Hearts of Iron has such a very active modding community, probably the most active of all the Paradox games. Somebody is 100% going to make a Malta focus tree now that is literally these names. And it's going to be filled out. It's going to be amazing, probably.
If you made a focus tree with 2,000 different levels, how long would that take to load? Is what I want to know.
Oh, no, it starts at 1,300.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Historically, the Maltese had the tower that big anyway.
Yeah.
By the
I
start,
mean, Malta just starts at level 1,300.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like chilling at level like 400 or something. Malta's way ahead.
Yeah. Malta's been building that ever since the Knights took over.
Yeah, see, they need to give Switzerland the option to go in the other direction and just start digging into the and it'll be like the fortresses in Anbadar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swiss are now dwarves. This is canon.
This
is an OCB cast canon.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the cannon is, of course, on top of a war canoe.
Naturally.
Of course.
Didn't Jay say he wants to port Anbadar to every single Paradox game? Wait for the Anbadar Hearts of Iron mod. That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
I'd play that.
there you go. Yeah. I think we also got a shot of the current state of the Paradox offices down at the bottom here, which has me slightly concerned, just a little bit. But
it is sad that Paradox still sticks to a 90s office space layout. So little color other than the parrot. It's kind of disgusting.
L-shaped desks with the monitors in the corner.
Yeah.
Where anyone can just walk up behind you.
Does he have a Skaven tattoo on his arm there? Is that what that is?
It's an A with a like yeah. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to mean something though.
If you turn it
upside
upside
like a
down,
TP with a bench on it.
Well, if you turn it upside down, it looks like the Skaven symbol.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah, I'm sold. Skaven. No canon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the serious dev diary. We also got one that's obviously very fake.
I know. We don't give a shit about this other one.
First major dev diary for the 1.11 Barbarossa update, which is all about how they are redoing the logistics system, which is something I've been hoping they would do for a while because it currently doesn't quite model, what this patch is named after, Operation Barbarossa. It was kind of too...
No, I'm just throwing in, because if you're watching this somewhere else or listening to this somewhere else, you can't see chats. And we were talking about the tattoo. And so we have Kazi Guy saying, don't be silly, rat men aren't real. And then, call in the Inquisitors. And then, of course, the Spanish Inquisition says, I'm here!
Wow. See, that's service.
Yeah.
That is service.
Wrong
right?
kind of Inquisitor, but close enough. Yeah, and none of us expected a Spanish Inquisitor to be here, let's be fair.
No, we did not.
No, that's true. I actually did not.
Yeah.
It was previously kind of too easy in Hearts of Iron 4 to just kind of roll all the way to the Urals as Germany without much difficulty.
Yeah.
So
maybe
now,
maybe even included like, gauging for for the locomotives, which is such a huge part of the war too.
yeah, you actually have to re-gauge railroads that you take over to use them as supply lines. Weather is actually going to have an effect on your logistics now, which was kind of a big deal.
Really? I didn't think the weather ever affected anything in real life.
No, especially not warfare in Eastern Europe. Yeah, trains are going to be a lot more important now because train lines are basically how you move supplies, which is also going to help model something I think Hearts of Iron did a decent job of before, but could definitely do better. Like the fact that you're not going to march into a modern army into the interior of Brazil. It's never going to happen.
Fun.
I mean, you could try.
There's malaria.
But they're probably all going to die unless there's some kind of special forces division that you've specifically created to operate in the Amazon jungle. And even then, yeah.
Well, British were the first country to make dedicated jungle units, to the point that they were better at fighting in the jungle than many jungle-y countries, because they didn't bother, making those kinds of units. So, I mean, if you're going to send anyone into the jungle, then, the British Special Forces during World War II probably would have been the ones to go for.
Okay.
Oh, we
Japanese,
do have,
surprisingly, not very good at it. They just like to hide a lot.
Yeah.
Remember, we apparently do have a dwarf Switzerland for you.
Somebody made the focus tree already. Yep. Yeah.
That did not take long.
The earth is our cradle. The mountain shall become our tomb. We can never dig too deep.
It's a very good.
I like the just the lyrics of Diggy Diggy Hole at the end.
Yep.
No,
that's the entire thing is Diggy Diggy Hole.
Oh, I only read the end bit.
Yeah, no.
So when you're looking at focus trees, you just look at the end.
Yeah, no, that's every single one of these is
fair enough.
From Diggy Diggy Hole. Yeah. Windrose made a fantastic metal cover of that song, by the way, with some of the best costuming I've ever seen in a music video. You haven't seen the Windrose version. So logistics are an interesting part of war, and
I can't wait to hear more about it. I'm such a train nerd. I love this shit. I want to have a gauging work if it works on an individual railroad basis. Will Japan have narrow gauge? What's China's infrastructure gonna be like? Because China didn't exactly have many railroads at this time, which will help so much with slowing down the war in China for Japan.
Right? Yeah.
So Japan could conquer the coast, and that was another thing too. One of the things that the British underestimated about the Japanese was well, we've got barely any infrastructure here, so we can't really fight in Burma very well, and they can't fight. Well, they didn't fight up in Burma very well because there was no railways, and that's why they sent all the POWs to die making railways.
Well, yeah, and I think it'll make it more likely for you to get a historical scenario in China because it was just way too easy for Mao's faction to get completely overrun before. I feel like
yeah.
And now that they're just surrounded by areas of low infrastructure, they kind of have a natural fortress there.
That's right. Yeah.
They get completely stomped by the Japanese. So
that's why they went there in the first place, right? Because it was very
out
of nowhere, basically. Not very arable area of China.
This is going to be an exciting patch. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of this patch.
Yeah.
So it's going to make Hearts of Iron 4 a little bit harder, having to manage all these supplies. What if we wanted to make Stellaris a little bit harder, though?
Ooh, actually, can I make one more request? I don't know if it's. I want choo-choo train models going up and down those rails.
If you released a train pack for every country, Loris would buy.
Yeah, I'd buy it instantly.
Yeah,
but only steam trains. Fuck diesel locos. Oh my goodness, terrible.
It's in a train simulator where there's $500 worth of DLC that's just different trains. Yeah.
I just want open TDD in every
you
game.
Just ruined that perfect segue.
Man.
I just don't
talk about steam
premature
engines for a
segue.
second more.
So very serious Stellaris dev diary here. Very serious, very real changes coming to Stellaris. We're getting some new, getting some new origins for it's if you feel like the game's too easy already, you can start off with orbiting a black hole and the entire rest of the galaxy is dead.
Figures about Mr. Stellaris, I unironically would like to play some of his. Well, all of them, actually.
No,
like,
I'm totally with you on that one.
Seriously. They did kind of spoil what the Aetherophasatic engine does now. Apparently, it turns every star into a black hole and every planet into a destroyed planet. I'm curious if there's a way for the Nemesis faction to keep playing after that, or like if you're Voidborn, does it also blow up your habitats?
They said there's no resources anymore.
Okay, yeah. So, well,
I mean, you could be living on your habitat, but your days are numbered.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I mean, this is legit the predicted fate of the universe.
It is. I mean, the black holes would start like clustering together into bigger black holes, and so.
Yeah.
I mean, the timeline for that is still pretty big.
Kind of.
I think the lifetime of one random squishy thing is gonna be probably shorter than that regardless.
Oh yeah, I mean this is like billions of years away.
This podcast will probably be long over by the time all that happens. So
yeah, I would
maybe.
have thought so.
Yeah, so
I don't know about you, but I plan on living forever.
It'll be after black holes.
We're seeing some people in the chat are saying that they agree that they want to play these unironically. The next one is the one I actually want them to add unironically. Crusader.
Actually.
Yeah, I've said for a while it would be really interesting if they figured out a way to let you start out as a pre-FTL empire in Stellaris.
I mean, that's a very popular mod already.
I haven't played it. Is it good? Like, is it actually good?
It's very popular.
That doesn't necessarily mean.
Honestly, I've never played it either, but
there are a lot of things that are
frequently
very
on
popular
Reddit. People playing it.
Yeah, popular does not always mean good.
Yeah.
Look at Fortnite.
I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, people like it as well.
Yeah. Perfect example. So the medieval age definitely is a real thing that's coming. And
then there's the prison architect origin.
This would also be really interesting.
Yeah, same. So I'd love this. You could just add it as a different flavor to Rogue Chemical, just a trait, right? Like
the Star Trek mod actually adds Rurapenthe as like a prison planet. Like they should add that to the base game.
Look, if you're a pre-FTL, all planets are prisons. Really, you can't escape them.
Well, if you're playing as the Nemesis, the universe is a prison, and we're just trying to free everybody from it. So
that's one way of looking at it. Sure,
yeah. That's what I'm going to tell them anyway.
That's a very creative way of looking at it.
They don't know any better. That's what I'll tell them. So criminal pops give you what? I don't know. I read this like last week when it came out. I don't even remember. Specifics of it were more unity for each criminal syndicate. There you go.
What is that? Negative 100 trade? But the criminals are always going on about how trade is amazing.
Valorgate picked up on what I was referencing with the world as a prison thing. Yeah, I'm very, very morally gray.
Look, I'm morally white when you're looking out of my own eyes. I don't know about all of you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm perfect. Morally.
You see, no, like this would also be kind of cool. An empire that can only colonize stars. Like all of these are all released on April 1st, but all of these would kind of be interesting.
Just a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
they need to add in an ethereal race pack, and then have
Oh,
the ability
yeah.
to colonize suns be totally a thing.
Yeah.
I see absolutely no issues with this whatsoever.
Mhm.
That you've got the best defenses in the galaxy. Literally, no one's going to land people on your planets. Yeah,
Well-
I mean, you only really have to worry about the big guy, the nemesis of the galaxy, wants to blow up all the stars.
And turn them into black holes. Though, I mean, if we're going with that, it'd also be cool to have a gas giant dwelling race.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like that event chain with the really annoying gas people who want you to bring them to from A to B.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like them, totally.
Exactly.
We also have AI custodianship, which would probably drive me bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, this is just taking how the sector system already works and applying it to the rest of your empire.
What if they forced you to use sectors?
Ooh.
Yeah. Just the AI will make bad decisions for you, even in the places that you've told them not to touch. That's really the. Oh, did somebody need a Twitch security code from me? I just got that popped up on my phone.
I was me trying to get the caption bot. See if that would work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
See,
We'll
see
try
they
that
missed a
again.
trick here because for that one, what they should have done for the build queue is just lots of precinct houses. Like that should have been 4 precinct houses.
Yeah, that would have been the best. Yeah.
That would have been more on point and also like a nod to we kind of fucked up before, didn't we?
I expect that our modding community will have all of these playable by the end of the week. Are they?
Yep. I mean, at least one of them is already a thing.
Well, we also got or no, wait, was that
That was it for Paradox.
that was it for Paradox? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one other little bit we got this week is a video about the diplomacy system in humankind, which I haven't actually watched through this yet, but I have played the most recent public build that had diplomacy in it. So I'm curious, did they announce anything new that we haven't seen already, or is this just kind of an overview of
It goes
features we've already seen?
features, and I think if they show a screen, it looks like they fleshed it out a little better.
Okay.
And they talk about how you gain support and knock people out of war, and it's sort of like EU4 in that, you know, different goals cost more.
Right, yeah.
But I still remember I was playing in the Lucy against Spiffin Brit's AI. And I had every single one of his cities occupied. I had all of his troops destroyed. And I couldn't even demand one single city from him.
I remember you telling me about that, yeah.
Yeah, I think diplomacy gets a lot of rework. This is one thing I really love about humankind. It's how dynamic for development it is. You know, it's like
they're being
it's working really well. It works really, really well with Endless Legend because they did a similar sort of thing with that, and it's working really well for humankind. Worked really well for Anno too, which I guess not many people know. During the development there was a lot of back and forth between that and people at the Anno Union. Very good.
Yeah.
It's an interesting new type of game development, which works quite well, actually, I reckon.
Yeah, the part of the humankind of diplomacy system I like the best is just the fact that you can build up grievances against people over time, and kind of like raise your population support for a war to the point that like they'll fight better if you let the grievance go for long enough. So yeah, I like that fact that you can kind of build up a CB over time and decide when it's strong enough that you want to actually declare the war. That was the part I enjoyed most about it. I'm also curious to see what additions they've made to the Neolithic. I know they said that's one of the focuses for this next.
I hope they make it longer because it always ends too short for me. Neolithic's one of my favorite parts of the game. Actually.
It is. It's probably the most interesting part if you've already played other like Civ type games. So,
and that's not to grade the rest of the game. It's just really good. It's just really good for the Olympic.
It's going around fighting. I haven't experienced before. Like Civ doesn't have that. With Civ, if you don't settle in your first or second turn, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to stay nomadic for like the whole game. Like,
So what you want is to be the Huns.
right? Yeah, like that's how the Huns and the Mongols should work. They should
Basically, you're saying you're a meta player.
No, I'm doing this for roleplay reasons.
Really are, though. Because the Mongols and the Huns are overpowered.
Yeah,
They definitely were doing Lucy. Oof.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, man, very good.
sometimes things that are overpowered are also the good roleplay choice. So.
That's what we should do. Like when you adopt Mongol culture, all your cities just get up and go.
All your
Just
cities
torch all of
just
your
disappear.
cities. Yeah. Uh-huh.
There was that faction in Endless Legends, which was easily my favorite faction, the roving traders. They could just like pick up their cities because like all their cities lived on a giant beetle, and the beetle would just wander around. You could just pick them up, and put them down
I
anywhere.
remember playing them. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let me do that in Humankind. I'd love that. Yeah.
I think what's also cool here with Humankind, let's see if I can get it to pause. The right spot. There we go. Is how there's the different levels of the different types of treaties.
Right.
So you could be trading everything with someone and still not open your borders to them or share your information. They're like, yes, we're trading everything with you, but you have no idea where our capital is.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Stellaris, that's something I'm really interested to try in Stellaris once this patch comes out. Is can I just create an empire where nobody will ever know anything about me for the entirety of the game? Because my counter espionage is so good, and I just keep my borders closed. But
Not being able to see how big a nation is something that I wanted for Stellaris for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Excited that that's going to be the case.
Yeah. So yeah, diplomacy looks like probably the system I think sets humankind apart the most from civilization so far.
Yeah. Battles as well. Going
Battles,
into
too.
battle screen instead of just I smash my rock against your rock and blah, blah, blah. You
Yeah.
can tell I'm not really a big Civ fan, can't you?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Civ fan. I'm really enjoying Humankind. Man.
I was a huge Civ fan, and then I discovered Paradox games. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is just everything that made me love Civ except better, and without the things I didn't love about Civ.
Yeah.
It's not that Civ is bad. It's just that I've discovered something that
isn't bad.
That fills all of the same needs that made me play Civ, but fills them better. Yeah. So, yeah. We kind of ran through the news pretty quick this week.
There is one other small bit of news, and that is that one of the previous guests that we had on the show was Svanley, who made the Bronze Age mod for Imperator. He then moved the mod to CK3, but gave his blessing for others to take up the mantle and update Bronze Age for the latest version of Imperator, and that has finally been done. Snowlet has updated the mod now to work with 2.0. A little bit rough around the edges. There's still things to be done with it, but it is playable, and you can play Bronze Age again in Imperator with the new UI and all that. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
so there will be an updated CK3 version and an updated Imperator version for all of our Bronze Age fun, which, we didn't even think about that when we were discussing PDXCon. Maybe they'll announce a Bronze Age game.
No, doubtful.
I know I know at least one person has mentioned, but it was in a very this is why this wouldn't work with Clausewitz sort of context. So maybe not, but I would.
We're adding trains to Imperator, so then I'll start playing Imperator.
Kazi, what do you mean they said non-historical? Where did they say that?
Did they say
they definitely did not confirm that.
Non-historical? Yeah. If you can show me a source. Well, there's a job
listing. Right, the job listing is for concept artist. If you are announcing a game in less than a month and you're only hiring a concept artist now, I think you might have fucked up.
I would roughly agree with that. I mean, I could see how they would hire extra concept artists to work on DLC or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, having a job listing for a concept artist means that there might be a fantasy game in like 5 years.
My best guess is that the recent job listings that have been going around on Reddit are probably not for the game that they're going to announce next month. That's
Agreed.
my
Yeah.
guess.
Well, even talking about expanding the team, they didn't expand the CK3 team until after it came out, and it proved to be a success.
So, yeah, so we'll see.
I mean, job listings are not a great way of,
Certainly not for a game that's going to be announced in a month.
No.
Non-historical could include alternate history. I don't know what they would... I'm trying to think what that would even look like.
Victoria 3 is not going to be a historical game. It's going to be a steampunk fantasy game.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be a lot. I'd love that.
Well, here, release Victoria 3 as, like, for the Victoria 3 fans, but then let the modders go crazy and make it into a steampunk game. That's what I want to see.
Right.
The
Whether you let them or not, it'll happen.
It'd still be heavy in trade and everything. It's just... if you keep going technological and you do really well, you take the world down a different path. It starts.
No, it's in your tech tree, right? You can either focus heavily on going for electricity, or you could say, fuck electricity, we like steam.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
So this is like, everybody's been talking about doing like an alternate history Secret Weapons of World War II DLC for Hearts of Iron, but they're going to do like Secret Weapons of the Crimean War, where you can go in a completely different, like, what's the minis game with the warjacks? What's that called? I'm blanking on the name right now. I used to, it's basically steampunk BattleTech.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's War or something, I think. Battle something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a game.
Yeah.
Based on the artwork by the Polish artist. Iron Harvest, are you thinking?
Not
Iron Harvest. That's the one.
It's not Iron Harvest.
Oh, you think of something else? Okay, never mind.
I was
Iron Harvest.
Steampunk.
Iron Harvest is like World War I. Hang on. War Machine.
War Machine. I have seen a bunch of that.
Yeah, if you could just
War Machine models, but
start out in 1821 in Victoria 3, but then like if you research the right things, you could just basically become a War Machine faction. That'd be pretty cool.
Victorian period, but with giant robots. I mean, that would be the steampunk version.
Yeah, that's Iron Harvest.
No, Iron Harvest is World War I. That's not the Victorian.
Right, but like
I guess that's the tail end of the Victorian.
That's Edwardian. World War I is not Victorian.
Yeah, I know, but like
but Leanna just said it was.
Oh, you're right.
It is in the tail end though, because Victoria 2 like ends in what?
It's the tail end of the Victoria 2 period, which of course is how everybody divides up history. It's which Paradox game it covers.
Naturally.
I mean, Victoria 2 starts before the Victorian era, anyway. Like, so
here, I'm gonna link this in chat here. So yeah, this is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is War Machine.
Oh.
So yeah, it's like steampunk BattleTech, essentially.
What it is conversion fuel for orcs.
Yes. Yeah, so
they should also make it fantasy. Give the boxers in the Boxer Rebellion the superpowers they believe they had. Legit. That's something they should do. Combine all the genres.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite faction from War Machine. Khador. They're like the Russian.
Where's the chimneys? What the hell?
See, these I don't trust them.
No.
These are clearly also believers in the Ratmen.
This is the worst type of steampunk, the clean steampunk. I don't want that shit.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Paint it to be grittier. That's just how they chose to paint their army.
Give
then they're wrong.
chimneys. I want chimneys, big smokestacks everywhere.
Look, if you
I
don't
mean-
spray paint some cotton wool and put it out the back of all of your
Yes!
vehicle exhaust,
Here we go.
you're
It's
doing
gonna be
it wrong.
Victoria
Amazing.
and steam. I mean, they're doing steampunk, but it's gonna be based around Girl Genius. Y'all have ever read that?
I'm not read
you
that.
lost me.
It's really good. But
No, I haven't read that. No.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I just don't know.
What is it, like a webcomic or?
Yeah, but it's done in style of an old style comics, and I think the guy used to work for. He and his wife
I
used
see
to
a
do
British flag. I
art.
like it.
Oh yes, the Queen. Britain's actually underwater.
Oh well,
And that's just the natural progression of things, really.
yeah. I guess
We rule the waves, and now we rule under the waves.
it's just like Atlantis. When you become powerful enough, Poseidon steps in and nerfs you. That's just that's the natural arc of history. Yeah.
I mean, there's also a genetically modified talking cat who is the king of all cats.
Oh, nice. There you go.
As you do.
Yeah. Lambert. Other than arguing with people who don't deserve your time on Reddit, what?
Look, I recognize that I do that a little bit too much. I have since deactivated my Reddit account.
Yeah, same. I just come from last year. I've been doing that maybe too much. So
Fair enough. Yeah. No, what have you been
There's
up
an
to?
8-year-old Reddit account that I just like sacked off because it's done.
yeah, done. Yeah, same.
What I've been doing, playing Imperator. I played a bit of Rome 2 Total War with the Dividay at Impera mod, which was a lot of fun. I'll be doing some more of that on stream soon enough. This coming Monday will be the start of a new D&D campaign that I'm taking part in, heralded by Midgeman, who we've had on the show before. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be streamed as well. And I don't know, I'm going to have to use my webcam for once, which is a bit weird, but sure, it's going to be fun. Yeah, soon enough I'll be playing some Bronze Age as well. So stuff
Sweet.
and things, and also some stuff.
Rose, what have you been doing lately?
Trying to play some more CK3, get more achievements. Finished off the King of the Isles last week. That was lots of fun. I totally forgot about Venice, and so we conquered Venice last.
Yeah. It's easy to miss in CK3. It's so small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then again, hanging out on TikTok too much.
We actually have Snowlet, the developer of Bronze Age, in chat, or the new developer of the Imperator Bronze Age.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if you want to be on the show. We like talking to mod creators, and I'd love to hear what it was like taking over from an established mod and taking and doing that. Yeah. So, yeah. Loris, what have you been up to lately?
Catching up on a bit of commissions, did a bit of painting. Like there's a shop nearby me that has gone bankrupt. I made a clearance sale on cakes, so I bought about 20 cakes, and I've eaten nothing but cakes for the past week. That's about it. I feel slightly ill, but I'm still eating cake. Here I am.
Yeah.
You are unique.
I mean, didn't you get sick last week from minced meat?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I took like a risk on some mincemeat last week. I don't like throwing food out, you know? Like I don't like food going to waste, but this
Why
mince.
just feed it to your horse or your sheep or something?
I mean, I'm not wasting perfectly good mince on the horse.
How much? How
it
far?
wasn't perfectly good though.
It was. Look, I did throw up, therefore I consumed the nutrients. So
How
it just
far
made me
past?
ill.
Okay, well, how far past date was it?
I mean, you
Was
know,
it
you
grey?
know how mince has got the stage. Yeah, I mean, it was grey, but like
Oh my
you know.
god, you cannot.
So, but mince goes through a stage, right? So it's like it's pink, and supposedly that's where it's supposed to be good. Then it goes off a bit, and it starts to smell really nice, but it's clearly gone off, right? And then it goes to a stage where it doesn't quite smell very nice, and that's the stage it was on. But
You are a unique individual.
but I
There's
covered
a
it
reason
spices.
that people in Britain kind of look out the side eye at the Welsh.
Like
So-
there was a reason why chili and spices were invented, and it was for this purpose. And
Yeah.
You wait, means someone invented the chili pepper?
yeah.
All right.
Dr. William Chili
Guys,
invented the chili
It was developed in a laboratory.
Hey guys, chit chat's fun, but I'm gonna have to end this, or at least go quiet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So as you can see, last week when I said Father Loris wasn't here because he got sick shoving handfuls of rock ground beef into his mouth, I wasn't totally exaggerating.
I did cook it.
You did okay. Yeah.
It's just a bit. It was on the turn, and by on the turn, I meant it was quite past the turn, but it was close enough to the turn. But
My
I
milk
could-
is lumpy. It's probably still good.
I'm Lord Sworn Order. I'm Lord Sworn Order on Twitter or on Twitch. I'm not Lord Sworn Order on Twitter. It's in the chat. You can click on links if you're watching this, or it'll be in the description.
Listen to it.
If you're listening to it later, it'll be in the show notes. Still just playing CK3 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's all Vikings all the time. Good stuff. Very on brand. Working on another thing that I can't talk about, but yeah. That's about it.
It's fine.
So, we did submit a panel for PDXCon. I haven't had confirmation if it's been accepted yet, but we'll keep you guys updated on that. We want to do an episode during PDXCon, which I guess we can do anyway, regardless of whether we're on the convention schedule or not. So we'll have our own Renegade Better PDXCon. With Blackjack and Mead, if they don't accept us, so we'll be doing something during PDXCon regardless.
Okay, now you have to send me a bottle of mead. You've signed up to that.
Download or find a browser version of Blackjack as well.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't even talk about Paradox games. We're just playing online blackjack and drink.
Yeah.
The mead will have to be purchased of your subscription.
I'm taking this out of a subscription.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back around this time next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye.